How to talk about money in a new relationship. From the very beginning, let me point out that talking about money and using such words as cheap, expensive, or for example salary during the first 3 dates, it's never a good idea. And it doesn't matter if you want to boast with how much money you earn or you want to find out how much money your date earns. Don't do it on the first 3 dates. Some men, for whatever reason, think that it will pique the woman's interest if he tells her how much money he has spent on his last vacation, or how much money he has paid for his car, jacket or shoes, or how much money he actually earns per year or will earn next year. Actually, it will be a huge turn off for a woman if you are so direct when you talk about money. You can only attract a gold digger or a scammer who actually will be trying to fish all this information from you to make up your mind what type of a gift to demand. For a serious, intelligent woman, stories about how much money you earn or how much money you are going to spend on a very lucky woman, hinting that she can become this fortunate woman, it will actually be a huge turn off. Of course, we can't avoid money discussions. And yes, your ability to earn money, it is one of your strengths. Probably you are not a guy who can boast with 1 meter and 85 centimeters height, a six-pack, and for example, this bubbly personality, but you have a good career, you have managed to climb this career ladder or to build a business, and you have managed to earn enough money to buy a house, and in the future you will be able to provide for your family and give your wife and your future kids a really good life. So how to show these strengths to a woman without scaring her off and without attracting a gold digger? Unpredictable German autumn. Anyway, of course, during the first 3 dates, we try to show our strengths, and your ability to earn good money, your ability to build that career, these are strengths. And of course, you need that to compete for her attention, because at the dating market, if you are courting a very attractive and intelligent, a kind, a smart woman who has a total full package, then of course there will be competition. But how to show your strengths without boasting? How to do it tastefully? Ask her out to a nice place. Choose a restaurant that is quite expensive, but of course not over the top. Show her that you can afford this type of courtship. Of course, foot the bill at the end of the meal. Bring her flowers. After the date number 3, send her flowers again and send them to her office. It will also show her that you are ready to court her, and this is how you are going to do it. Courting a lady and showing her that you can court her at a certain level doesn't equal presenting her with a new iPhone after 3 dates. Of course, if she is 20 years younger and this is a sugar daddy, sugar baby type of a relationship, iPhones and other extravagant gifts will be expected. But if we are talking about other type of a relationship, flowers, asking her out to a nice restaurant, to a nice show, this is enough to show a lady that you are able to afford this type of courtship. Yes, courting a woman means investing your time, your creativity, and your money. And by sending flowers or by presenting flowers on a date, you show a lady how thoughtful you are, and you add extra romance into your courtship. Of course, a bouquet doesn't guarantee you a relationship, and it doesn't guarantee you a second date, but it is a good touch. It is a nice touch to stand out. Let's assume you are out on a date with a lady named Natasha, and you have invited her to a nice Italian restaurant. You have a white tablecloths and candles, and you have brought her flowers, and you talk, and you want to find out what type of life Natasha leads, and you want to find out how much money she earns. Don't ask her directly, does she own an apartment or does she rent it? How much does it cost her to rent that apartment? Don't ask her about her salary. Instead, if you want to learn about her lifestyle, you can ask about her hobbies. You can learn a lot about a person by asking about hobbies. For example, she likes skiing. It's not the cheapest hobby. Ask her where she usually goes skiing, where did she go the last time, why to France, why she enjoys it so much, why she prefers France and not Italy. Of course, some hobbies do not scream expensive. For example, she likes reading and watching historical documentaries. Then after you have talked about your favorite book, books that you are currently reading, you can ask her about her last vacation. Where did you go? How did you spend it? What did she like most of all? Also, don't ask her about her exact position and the company she works for. Instead, ask her what she really likes about her job. Why she works at that company for 10 years already. And please stop assuming things and stop playing a detective or a psychologist. She has showed up on a date wearing a very expensive dress and even a more expensive, extravagant purse. It doesn't mean that she has a line of lovers who pay for her clothes. Perhaps she has a successful career. Maybe her parents have successful careers. Or perhaps her grandmother is rich and this purse is a gift presented by her favorite grandparents. You never know that, and you can learn about it only if you ask questions. This is a time to ask about her family. What do your parents do for a living? Oh, your mother is a college professor. You can tell about your background and your family. A nice question to ask is about your favorite family traditions. For example, do you celebrate Christmas together, or do you gather for another holiday, for example, for every birthday of your grandmother? Ask questions, stop assuming things, and actually listen to the answer. If you are talking about international dating, a really good test if you are financially compatible is planning a first weekend together, a first trip together somewhere to the neutral territory. Because here you will have to discuss many touchy topics, like for example, where will you go? Will you meet at the neutral territory, or will you fly to meet her again, or will she fly to meet you again? How will it happen? Will you meet halfway? And if, for example, you are meeting halfway, are you paying for the hotel, or is everyone paying for their own room? Who pays for the tickets? And this is a great way to test your relationship, your fresh relationship, and to teach the two of you to ask questions, to listen, and to talk about touchy topics. If we are talking about dating ladies from Eastern Europe, I as a professional matchmaker prefer it when a man actually books and pays for the hotel if they are meeting at the neutral territory. It will be important for a lady and it will show that he is serious, that he is ready to court her, but everyone is paying for their own tickets to get there. How to make this happen? Okay, you have decided to discuss with the lady your meeting at the neutral territory. For example, you have already traveled to Prague to meet her, and now you're planning your second meeting, and you have decided to meet at the neutral territory so that both of you are on the same page. You both are tourists in the new city. First of all, you should choose the dates. When you are free to travel, she is free to travel, make it a longer weekend, like 2-3 days. And then you tell a lady that, Marina, I would like to book a hotel both for you and for me, and I'm covering this up. So do you like this hotel? And you send the link, and I'm booking a room for you and I'm booking the room for myself. This is it. And of course, the logical answer of the lady is, thank you, it is so thoughtful, I truly appreciate it. So she knows that you have paid for the hotel, and now she starts looking for her tickets. If the lady asks you, and how about the ticket, won't you cover my ticket? It's also a signal to you that she expects you to pay for everything. And here you must decide if you are okay with it. Of course, if you are talking about a relationship with the age difference, most likely the lady will assume that you, as an older man, will be covering all the expenses. Age gap dating is not a cheap one. And if you are a type of a man who believes that it's your job as a man to cover all expenses, and if you are inviting a lady over for a vacation, well, she won't need to touch her purse because you can afford to pay for everything. Well, good for you. You can choose a lady who is looking for this type of relationship when the man leads and the lady follows. But if you're not this type of a man, if you believe that your girlfriend-to-be also has to invest her energy, her time, and yes, her money into building this relationship, then it is a good test. Will she buy tickets? How she will react? And when you actually travel to meet, I really recommend to a gentleman to foot the lunch bills and the dinner bills. And to ladies, I recommend to book an excursion beforehand, or to buy tickets to the theater, or to buy tickets to museums, to plan something and to actually pay for it. This way, none of you will feel unappreciated and none of you will feel that the other party has taken advantage. Of course, there can be different scenarios. For example, a gentleman doesn't want to fly to Europe, he lives in the States, and he tells something like, let's meet in Mexico. And for a lady to buy a ticket to fly from Europe to Mexico, it will be half of your salary. And of course, usually a lady, if she is smart, she is not ready to invest half of her monthly income into the ticket, knowing that this relationship might not work out, because she must pay her rent, she must eat something, and she has other duties and obligations. So when you discuss where you are going to fly, you have to be logical, like flying to Mexico. Well, for you it can be convenient, but for her, choose something in between. Or for example, if you're adamant to fly to Mexico because you can't afford to spend much time in Europe because you are so busy, then you should consider covering her ticket too. How to understand her attitude to money? Ask her about her long-term goals, about her dreams. How does she see future? What she would like to do with her free time if she marries, or for example, if she is in a relationship. How she spends her free time now. When you start dating someone new, it is crucially important to figure out if you're on the same page about money and about gender roles in a relationship. Of course, it doesn't mean that a lady will be splitting the bills with you 50-50 if we are talking about a woman from Eastern Europe. But a woman can invest her money and her energy and her time into a relationship without actually opening her purse in a restaurant. For example, she can buy groceries and cook a tasty dinner and invite you over instead of going to the restaurant. Or she can learn about museums and some exhibitions where you don't need to pay, but you have to register beforehand online, and she can do that. Does she really try to be thoughtful about this new relationship with you? Is she investing her time, her efforts, her money? Some men often fall for this mistake. They offer to buy a gift for a lady, and then they feel turned off and really sad when the lady says yes. Very often men underestimate investments women do into a potential relationship. And I'm not talking right now about makeup, a new dress and a hairstyle. This summer we have introduced a gentleman to a lady, and he flew to London to meet her, and she has prepared lots of sightseeing tours. She has read about most popular sites, and she has taken a gentleman on an excursion. She has booked tickets beforehand. She bought tickets to the theater because you had to buy them beforehand, because she wanted to show him that she is interested. When you start dating someone new, of course you will fall for a certain pattern. For example, you are asking her out and you are footing the bill in the restaurant. But if you don't like paying 100% for everything, let's say on your date number 4 or date number 5, you're going to the cinema, you can tell the lady that I'm buying the tickets, do you mind buying the drinks? And then you can watch her reaction. If she's the type of a woman who believes that a man should cover all expenses on a date, and there are plenty of women like that, because she believes she is young and beautiful, she is Slavic, so Slavic men usually pay when they ask ladies out. So if she is not that emancipated, she can be turned off. Or for example, she can be okay with that, and you can find out if your attitude to gender roles and to money and who pays for what in a relationship are actually similar or too different. Even if physical attraction is really strong and you really like your communication, but you're on a totally different pages about money, your attitude to it is really different, you will end this relationship because of money. The longer you date, the easier it should become for the two of you to talk about money. First of all, because you have already built a certain pattern, and there are certain rules and expectations, and they were built up naturally. And also you know each other a little bit better now, so you know what to expect from your partner, you know their background, you know their touchy places that you shouldn't be pushing too much. So don't be afraid to talk about money. It is very important to set your expectations straight. This doesn't mean though that on the first, second or third date you ask her how much money she earns and how much money she expects you to spend on her. Don't do that. Guys, I hope it was helpful. I remind you that it is really important to press like, to subscribe to this channel, and of course I recommend you to consider to become a sponsor, and you will get access to extra videos that we film specially for sponsors. I want to wish you lots of love. Svetlana Muhar, specially for Diolli.com from very rainy Munich, Germany. With love.